Okay, welcome along to this Evo CC race series. This is the Cat D race, which is slightly unexpected. So I haven't raced for about 10 or 12 days on Zwift. In that time, I've done a lot of workouts and group rides and what have you, working on my base and 1 minute power. I've come back and my racing score is 327, and it wouldn't even let me enter the next category up because it was over 350. So this is the 180 to 350 category. So I'm racing in this race. There's only 16 people at the moment. So I'll be honest with you, I feel as though anything less than a podium on this would be a bit of a disaster. I should be one of the favourites. I haven't looked on Zwift Power, I never do. But sorry, I'm still a little bit out of breath actually because I've only just jumped off the bike. Anyway, I should be one of the favourites for this, and off we go. I'm going to speed up the action for us and just see how we go. Okay, so I've sped us up as well. So yeah, I think there's only, how many did I say? 17, 18 riders in this race, and it's a short race. I'm slightly pushed for time this evening, so just a short 12, 13 kilometre race, and Cat D, but I feel like the Cat D is often a lower than 350 race score, but for whatever reason, this one is below 350 to 180. And shout out to Cockhoven, who's on the front now, pushing 4 watts per kilo. She pushed, I don't know, Alex, I'll have to check the stats, but she pushed over 4 watts per kilo for most of this race. She held first place for most of this race, so outstanding effort. And it was just a really good race, actually really fun. Highgate, shout out to you. Win, Lemieux, Van Hoot, yes, I remember, Van der Hecker. Yeah, so this was a little kind of breakaway at the beginning, which I thought we'd better get on because it's actually a short race, so any kind of breakaway is quite dangerous on this. But it was a really good race, actually, really good pace. I've been training because for most of my races recently, I haven't been able to get over 3.1 watts per kilo in a race. So I've been training base, I've been doing more hill climbing, and I've been training my 1 minute power over the last couple of weeks in an attempt to try and get over to that 3.2 watts per kilo, which should firmly put me in C. So that's been I feel like I've been stuck on 3.1 watts per kilo for like a couple of months really, and I should have been able to have pushed through it now. So I have lost 1 kilo in the last couple of weeks, so that will help. Just a kilo shed will help. And I've updated my weight. So I'm really hoping for 3.2 watts per kilo today. Depending on the race, I was hoping it was going to be a bit of a slower paced race and I was going to be able to keep closer to 200 watts average power for me, but it didn't turn out that way. Actually, it was quite a fast-paced DCAT race, so I guess that's a good thing. At the moment, I'm just... Cockhoven is, as you can see on the right-hand side there, 4 watts per kilo. It's like she was really pushing hard. I have no idea what her weight is, but she was really going for it. And I'm just letting her, if I'm honest with you. I'm sat behind her doing kind of 2.5 to 3 watts per kilo, and I'm happy for her just to burn herself out as much as possible because she's strong. And this Vice as well, he was strong in the beret. Just a little kicker there. He was strong in the beret as well, and it was just a really fun race, actually. I must admit, I really enjoyed this one. And I haven't raced for a couple of weeks. And weirdly, I mean, when I first started Zwift, I really enjoyed the races, and I still do. Didn't really enjoy the training part of it or the workouts. Not that they were dull or anything, but they're just not as fun as the racing. And actually, I've really got into the workouts and kind of trying to better my comms as well. And so I've really enjoyed it. And I kind of came back, I was like, I'm hopeful that I can maybe do a bit better in a Cat C race, maybe definitely get kind of top 25%, which I have done, but it was a real stretch and I would like it to be more comfortable, hence why I went away and was training a bit for it, only to be thwarted by the race score. I don't know what my race score was before 2 weeks ago, but I think it must have dropped a few points, so I wasn't able to race in the Cat C race, but hopefully after this, with a good performance, I'll be back in Cat C. I feel like even though my race score wasn't high enough today to be in the Cat C race, surely it should know that my pace, it says that my race pace is Cat C. So I feel like that should be enough to be in the Cat C race, but it doesn't matter. I'm not bitter about it. I'm just trying to stick to these guys at the moment. It's getting quite strung out on this kind of long, drawn-out climb. Is this... What bridge is this? I don't know. In New York, there's two, and I can never remember which one's which. So I'm just trying to get on the back of Lemieux here, because actually it's becoming quite strung out. Van Hoot's really pushing, Cockhoven's really pushing. I presume Cockhoven is probably like in the 50 kilo range because she's flying up hills, but catchable on the flat and catchable downhill, as you're about to see. So I put a little bit of red pedals just to catch up with these guys and just blow right through them, actually give them some ride-ons on the way through. And at this point, I thought to myself, what am I doing now? Because I'm caught in no man's land. I've blown past those three. Do I try and get hold of Cockhoven, or do I just let her burn out and hope that we'll get her as a group? So I let them make the decision for me. I just kind of stayed behind these guys for a bit. Cockhoven, I can feel like we're reining Cockhoven in now that it's not uphill, so I'm not too worried about it. But it had the potential to be slightly dangerous. So I'm currently in the front group of 21. The front group is, 8 or 9 riders, and then it's 8 seconds, there's 2 other riders, and then beyond that, they're kind of out of it, if I'm honest with you. So this is the place to be. It's rule number 1, don't get dropped, stay with the front group. And if you can do that for most of the race, you just have to remember that everyone else around you is suffering as well. It's easy to forget that sometimes. Maybe they're not suffering as much as you, but if you can hang on to that front group for as long as possible, not only are you in the front group, you're putting pressure on everyone else behind you. So it's good. I'm still I don't know what I'm doing here. This is poor racecraft, really. I'm not letting Lemieux or Vier or Highgate take any of the strain, but I'm also not catching Cockhoven. I don't know what I'm doing. And then I decide to get on the back of that black rider there, and then kind of they then pull me back to Cockhoven. I don't know what I was doing. That was poor. I probably wasted some energy with indecision there, if I'm honest with you. So this is kind of the last climb, although there is a climb to the finish, but it's not too steep by the looks of it. So it's very much a case of just stay with these guys right now. Cockhoven to the front again, as you can see. Just stay with these guys and just see how it goes. Now, I feel like if I can get to the brow of this hill with this group, there's a power up at the top of the hill. I'll see what I get. There seems to be aero, draft, and featherweight available, which is the kind of the main 3 that you see, isn't it? And I'm sticking to Cockhoven like glue at the moment. I'm just going to let her take the strain. She's pushing out 3.5 watts per kilo, and I'm kind of trying to stay below the 3 watts per kilo kind of vibe. Because I want her to burn herself out. I'm hoping she hasn't got a finish in her, although she seems pretty strong. But I'm happy for her just to take the strain. Yeah, look, she's pushing 1 watts per kilo, and I'm only doing kind of 3.5. But she's getting away from me. She's getting away from me because she is a bit too powerful for me. Even though I'm letting her take the strain, I give that little guy a ride on as well. Shout out to whoever you are. And at the moment, I'm placed well. This next little bit of downhill, I'm nearly at the brow of the hill with the leaders, so I'm happy with that. Highgate in the mix. He was in the mix the whole time. And I'm in the mix now, and let's see what we get power-up wise, because this could decide what happens and how, in what order it happens. So power-up wise, I get myself a draft, which I'll be honest with you is probably not what I wanted. And it looks like Lemieux used his aero straight away. Maybe suffering is what I thought. They must be struggling, so they're just kind of using it straight away. I didn't use my draft. I knew that the downhill section I would be able to bunch up with the pack again. I'm feeling okay. I'm at 166 beats a minute at the moment, and I'm fine. I've got more in the tank. I'm used to racing 22-kilometre races, something between 20 and 25. So this 12-kilometre race is well within my power and well within my kind of the distance that I like to race in. I appreciate the 20 to 25 kilometres is not particularly far, but it's half of what 12 is, so I feel pretty good at this point, and I'm in the front group, so get myself back in the draft as much as possible. So we're only 1.6 kilometres from the end here, and it's going fine. It's going fine. I'm going to save my draft, so that uphill section doesn't look that steep. And according to one of my favourite YouTubers, Ryan Condon, who is a Zwift YouTuber, anything 4% or below, you can actually get drafting boost off of people. So I crack it here, and it's around 3.5 to 4% this climb. So I am benefiting from a draft boost from these guys, which is great. The draft boost seems to last longer than the feather and the aero, doesn't it? And at this point, my tactic is I tend to go about 500-600 meters from home. So we're 700 meters from home at the moment. And I don't know quite when I go, but it's bunching up, and the front rider is that Cockhoven is quite far away from me. But I think I'm just going to go for a 1 minute power effort, because that's what I've been really working on. A steady kind of 500 watt effort, in the hope that it just takes the wind out of everyone. Nobody wants to start sprinting till about here, 300 meters. And I've already gone at 500-600 meters, and it just hurts. It feels awful. And I'm trying to get my minute power to 500 watts, because that would be good for me. And I can see that Highgate's about a second behind me, but it's not enough. He nearly closed the gap, but it's not enough. I had just a little bit too much. He was pushing 3.3 watts per kilo that race. I managed to get 3.2, which is an improvement for me. I've managed to crack the 3.1 barrier, and now I'm in the 3.2 league. So it was good. I mean, I'm not absolutely buzzing. Like my first race win that I got in that Brompton race a few weeks ago, I was buzzing. There was over 180 people in that, and it was my first ever win. And I'd worked my way up to the top of that category, and I really felt like I could win that one. This one, I kind of came into it fully expecting to win, because I should do, and I got demoted through inactivity, really, I think, more than anything. But it was a good one. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one.